The rain fell like static, sharp, endless, electric. Headlights flickered across the slick asphalt, and Ethan's black car sliced through the fog, wipers struggling against the downpour. Inside, the dashboard screen glowed faintly, its GPS signal cutting in and out, voice directions glitching every few seconds. 3 people missing in the last month, Caleb said, scrolling through his tablet. All of them vanished after posting from Blackwater Bridge. Last uploads, same timestamp, 3:07 a.m. Ethan's fingers tightened on the steering wheel. That's where Mom's car crashed. Caleb looked up from the glow of his screen. Yeah, that's why we're here. The signal dropped completely. The GPS froze on an empty road. When the car lights caught the bridge ahead, it seemed to grow out of the mist itself. An ancient concrete skeleton glistening under the rain. Ethan stopped the car, the headlights dying for a moment before flickering back on. The bridge felt wrong. The air buzzed faintly, like static in their ears. Caleb pulled out a compact thermal scanner, a gift from a tech forum friend obsessed with ghost tracking. The screen crackled, showing faint blue heat signatures near the railing. There, he whispered. They walked closer. The sound of rain seemed distant now, replaced by an almost inaudible hum, like a low digital feedback. On the railing hung a bouquet of fresh lilies. A small LED candle blinked beneath it, its battery faintly pulsing. Scratched into the metal just below, under a thin layer of moss, were the words, "She waits beneath." Ethan reached out, fingertips brushing the letters. The metal vibrated softly, just enough to make him step back. Something moved below them. Caleb raised his phone and activated the camera. The night vision flickered, image breaking into static and distortion. For a second, there was only the river, and then a shape. A woman's silhouette emerging from the black water, hair flowing unnaturally as if underwater. The video feed glitched. The figure's face appeared for half a second, pale skin, hollow eyes glowing faint blue, before the screen went black. Caleb lowered the phone. The battery was dead. "Ethan," he whispered. She began to sing. The sound wasn't natural. It wasn't even a voice. It was data. A distorted melody that vibrated through the air like corrupted audio, fragments of syllables breaking and repeating in ghostly delay. Ethan's smartwatch buzzed with no signal, showing a line of static instead of numbers. His phone's flashlight turned itself on, flickered, then dimmed. The woman lifted her head, the sound merging into words. "Daniel." Ethan froze. "What did you just say?" Her head tilted, neck twitching like a broken recording. "Daniel left me on this bridge. Said he'd come back. My name's not Daniel." She smiled, or rather, the shadows of her face bent into the shape of one. The rain turned heavier, though none of it seemed to touch her. "You lied," she whispered, and the sound carried a reverb that rattled the bridge. "You all lie." Caleb fumbled with the charm their father had built years ago. A digital ward, an old hex symbol burned into a circuit board. He pressed a button and it emitted a deep red pulse, a low frequency that made the air shimmer. The woman screamed, her voice dissolving into static. She vanished in a burst of blue light that flickered across every device they carried. Then silence. Only the faint hum of the bridge remained. At the motel that night, Ethan couldn't sleep. Caleb was already out cold, phone still charging beside the bed. The rain outside beat against the glass, the power flickering in and out. Ethan stared at his phone. The clock read 3:07 a.m. Then the screen lit up by itself. Incoming call, unknown ID. He hesitated, then answered. Hello? A faint hiss, then the unmistakable sound of running water. A whisper followed, distorted, fragmented by static. He's here. The call ended. The bathroom light turned on by itself. Ethan's reflection flickered in the mirror, split into digital blocks of static. He stepped closer. The glass fogged even though the room was freezing. A word appeared across the surface, glowing faintly like a holographic glitch. Under. The drain gurgled. His smartwatch vibrated uncontrollably. Then from the sink, a pale hand emerged, pushing through the metal like liquid code breaking reality. Water spilled out, black and shimmering with digital noise. Ethan stumbled back, grabbed the charm, and pressed the button again. The red pulse filled the room. The mirror cracked. The lights went out. When they flicked back on, everything was still. By morning, Caleb was gone. His phone lay on the bed, screen cracked, showing a single looping video. Ethan pressed play. The footage showed the bridge, recorded from the car's dash cam. At 3:07 a.m., Caleb opened the door and walked toward the railing. Behind him, a figure in white stood watching. The camera glitched, the timestamp freezing. When the video cleared, both were gone. Ethan drove back to the bridge. The fog was thicker than before, the air humming with the same low static. He stood at the edge and looked down. In the water, the reflection staring back wasn't his. It was Caleb's face, pale, eyes open, mouthing silent words. Ethan's phone buzzed. The caller ID flashed Daniel. He froze. He hadn't seen that name since their father's old phone number. Then, from behind him, a whisper came, soft, digital, and inhuman. You came back, Daniel. He turned. She stood there, half light, half signal, her form flickering between flesh and pixels. The rain passed through her like smoke. She reached out, her touch cold as metal and deep as water. The world shattered into static. When the sun rose, the bridge was quiet. The air smelled of ozone and river mud. On the railing, a single phone vibrated. Screen cracked, showing one final notification. Live stream. She waits beneath. Below, the water rippled once, and two faint silhouettes drifted together, their forms dissolving into the signal of the current.